Hello, my name is Centera Donaldson, and today I'm going to be doing my persuasive speech on should people lose their license after receiving more than one DUI of alcohol. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is how does one even get a DUI? So first of all, if you're swerving all over the road, if you're going really fast or really slow, or if you just have like late reactions to things, then they're going to pull you over, obviously, and then they're probably going to assume that you're under the influence. So first, it's blatantly obvious once a police officer pulls someone over who's under the influence because they smell the odor of alcohol, and then they'll breathalyze you. And if you're over .08 in West Virginia, then you're legally drunk, and it's illegal for you to be driving or operating any type of motor vehicle. The next slide is going to be about how do we figure out for sure if someone is under the influence of alcohol. So like I mentioned previously, if you're driving like you're under the influence of one substance or another, then they're obviously going to suspect something. And so, like I said, usually they can smell the odor of alcohol in a car. And if they don't smell the odor of alcohol, but they're fairly positive that you're under the influence of one drug or another, then that's when they're going to start to question what the next steps should be. My next slide is going to be about the steps that they will proceed to take once they realize someone is more than likely under the influence, and they're going to do the general field sobriety test. As I mentioned previously, these tests are only going to be performed whenever there's reasonable suspicion that the driver's under the influence of one drug or another. There are a few tests that go into the general field sobriety test. Those tests consist of, first, they're standing on one leg and they'll make you count to 30. Then usually they'll have you walk a straight line, so the walking a straight line on the road. Then there's taking 9 steps forward and 9 steps backward, and then there are the heel-to-toe steps. Next, we're going to get into some facts about drunk driving. So first, in 2018, the rate of alcohol-impaired driving fatalities per 100,000 population was 3.2, representing a 65% decrease since 1982. When record-keeping began, and a 49% decrease since the inception of the Foundation of Advancing Alcohol Responsibility in 1991. So it has improved. However, we still have many large numbers of people who have died because of irresponsible drunk driving. Alcohol-impaired driving fatalities accounted for 29% of the total vehicle traffic fatalities in 2018. Between 1991 and 2018, the rate of drunk driving fatalities per 100,000 population has decreased 49% nationally, and 71% among those who are 21. These statistics and others are positive indicators of the gains being made to fight drunk driving. So as I said, we are slowly moving in the right directions, but there are still some more intense things that need to be done. We need to have more reprimandable consequences, or else people are still going to keep doing this, and we're going to lose more and more lives to stupid drunk drivers. So the last fact that we're going to go over is, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 36,560 people died in traffic crashes in 2018 in the United States, including an estimated 10,511 people who were killed in drunk driving crashes involving a driver with an illegal BAC of .08 or greater. Among the people killed in these drunk driving crashes, 67% of them, 7,051, were in crashes in which at least one driver in the crash had a BAC of .15 or higher. The next slide, we're going to talk about real stories about drunk driving. So the first story that I found is Jose Banda, who is 20 years old, plowed in to David Barajas and his sons, David, who is 12 years old, and Caleb, who is 11 years old, while they were pushing a truck that ran out of gas on a road in Texas in December in 2012. Banda was later found dead, and it appears that the father of the two sons, Caleb and David Jr., killed Jose Banda to get revenge for what he did to his sons. So we're going to continue the real stories about drunk driving. So the second one that I found is Stephen Boyce was 20 years old when he hit a Jeep Cherokee halted at a red light from behind in June 2011. The gas tank ruptured and the vehicle burst into flames, eventually killing Mark, who was 49, and his wife, Amanda Rowe, who was 31, and their children, Caleb, who was 11, Tyler, who was 4. The accident took place in Winchester, Virginia. Boyce was eventually sentenced to a total of 20 years. So he only had 20 years for driving drunk and killing 4 people, 2 young children and 2 parents. We're going to continue the real stories about drunk driving. So the last one that I have is Olivia Colbruth, who was 21 years old, had a 0.15% blood alcohol concentration when she hit 2 cars, killing the 2 passengers that were in her car and 4 passengers who were in a Ford Explorer as she drove in the wrong direction on a Southern California freeway on February 9, 2014. The driver of the 3rd car only suffered from minor injuries, but still he was involved. As it turned out, Colbruth, the woman who was driving, had already been convicted of DUI multiple times, according to state records. She was also driving without a valid license, as her driver's license had been revoked in 2013 and had not been reinstated at the time of the crash. She is currently facing 6 counts of murder. So, like I said, our original question of my presentation is, should license be permanently taken by those who have got more than 1 DUI under the influence of alcohol? So this woman had not only been convicted more than once, but she'd been convicted multiple times, and she was still going to get her license back. She just hadn't at the time of the next crash where she killed multiple people. So that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't be able to get your license back. If you've already made a stupid choice once, whether it was you hurt people or not, you're going to do it again, and it could be way worse, and you could kill people. So in the state of West Virginia right now, this is what happens when someone gets more than 1 DUI. Your license could be revoked for up to 10 years following a second offense. So depending on why you were pulled over, what was the incident that caused you to get a DUI, that's how long your license could get suspended. In conclusion, my opinion is if one is stupid enough to not only once but multiple times put their lives and everyone else on the road's lives in danger, they should not be able to drive. Also, regardless of how bad your first DUI was, what the case was, the second case could be much worse and people could die because of stupidity. And then lastly, the NHTSA reports that almost 29 people die daily in America due to drunk driving. We have to put a stop to it, and I feel as though if you get more than 1 DUI under the influence of alcohol, you should never be allowed to drive again. Thank you.